fictitious professor.
Hi, my name is Medina.
My name is KP.
Hi, my name is Alyssa.
Hi, I'm Austin.
I'm your host and dungeon master, Dre. There is a big metal table in the middle, and on top of the table,
That's a dead body.
it starts at a funeral.
Baba was one of my closest friends, and I'm so sorry to see him go, but I'm so happy to have him back in the sky.
I owe pretty much all of my talent and expertise and my livelihood to this man.
And he did not deserve to die.
And I hope that we all remember him in good tidings. Thank you.
Welcome, friends, to the first episode of Estrang. This is our Dungeons and Dragons campaign in the islands of Sinauna. I'm your host and dungeon master, Dre, or Dre Magics. You can find me on the internet. And this is the cast for this season, and we're gonna get into it. You're gonna just go down the line. We're gonna say your name, introduce yourself, and kind of your experience with D&D, and we'll just take it from there.
Hello, I am fictitious professor. I'd still refer myself as like a D&D newbie. I played like a handful of one-shots. I started a handful of campaigns, and then they all fizzled out. Because life and pandemic, and more life and pandemic, which is everyone's alive, which is great. And I'm happy to be here. I'm really stoked.
Hi, my name is Medina. I am completely new to Dungeons and Dragons. Big fan of D&D. I only really have like improv experience, so that's pretty much all I got. I met all my dice children today. Be good to me. Not yet. Don't tell them.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We'll get there. My name is KP. I've done 2 one-shots. We're the second one-shot. We had a total team wipe, and the DM finished the campaign for us, which is really funny. Yeah, we hold it over to this very day.
Damn.
Hi, my name is Alyssa. I've played one campaign that also is in hiatus, to be determined. And I've played a couple one-shots, and I'm a huge fan.
Hi, I'm Austin. I played once where I got to jump in on other people's campaign and play a baddie, and I jumped off a dragon and tried to attack people. And ever since then, I was like, I gotta play this again. This was fun. I want to jump off another dragon. Dre. Let me jump off another dragon.
Yeah, many dragons will be jumped on.
Yes!
I'll see you soon. Gross. Okay.
So bad.
A tiefling.
Oh my god.
We are gonna get started. All right. Our story starts on the island of Sinauna. A small island. It's actually one of the biggest islands in the archipelago.
Archipelago?
That one.
I like the second one you said.
Archipelago.
Archipelago.
Yes.
New merch.
I'm an immigrant. The island of Timanduk in the capital, the city of Kailahon, but in the castle. It's called Paro Castle, and it's in the heart of the city. This is where all the Babaylan and like the leaders and the council congregate to determine how the islands are to be governed. So it's where government meets. It's the capital, and if you picture just like a castle surrounded by this great garden, right? And all the walls are covered in this lush flora, and this is also home to the school, to where Si Babaylan are like very well-known and prestigious magic users in the land, and that's where they go to study. So our story starts a little bit differently. It starts at a funeral, and you see there are so many people in the council room. There is a big metal table in the middle, and on top of the table is a body. And the body is he's an older gentleman, probably around 60, 70-ish, gray hair, human, and he's lying down and he looks peaceful. He has a smile on his face, and he's positioned very strategically on the table. Usually when they lay a body to rest, it's usually cross-armed like this. This body is laid with his hands folded like this. And you notice it was done purposely. It was done to cover one of his hands. And we'll find out why later on. But all of you know this man to be one of the leaders of the island. His name is Datu Babalato. A Datu is a title given to a leader, right? And it's very interesting having seen a dead body with kind of a childish smirk on his face. But for those of you that knew who he was, this is the kind of energy he wanted to leave the world with. You see all the great leaders sitting in the front row, and because he's on a table, there are seats around him where the government leaders usually sit during meetings, but those are empty to pay respects to the newly deceased. In the front row, you see just a bunch of the other doctors. Some might look unfamiliar, but one of them walks up. He's an elf, and he looks about the same age. And he goes up behind the table, in front, behind the bodies, but tall enough so everyone could still see him. This is another leader of the town. He's another Datu. His name is Datu Dumagat. A lot of you know him for being Datu Baba's best friend, and he's the one to deliver the eulogy. And he says, Datu Babalato was my best friend. He had a very childish nature about him. Although being a great leader, the things he wanted to leave us with was not an age of mourning, but an age of hope. He lived his life a little bit childish for my taste, but when he was needed, he got the job done. He was one of the strongest wizards I've ever met, but he was an even stronger friend. Now, before we start the reception that is going to be held at Chismis. Thank you again, Mrs.
Cheese.
We're going
Merry
to
Cheesemas.
we're gonna have whoever wants to come up say a few words. And so as this happens, you see the first one rushing up in such a hurry because you know she has somewhere to be right after. She's not particularly dressed for a funeral, but she's more dressed like, she's dressed for a reception, for sure. And she comes up, and to say a few words and also describe herself, is Cherry. Can you kind of describe what Cherry looks like and what she does in this situation?
Cherry has white scales. She is a female dragonborn, about 30, 35, 30-ish. Nobody knows, but she's definitely old enough to have kids. Lots of kids. And she is the head matron of She's Miss. She's got long, flowing red, what are those called? Tendrils? I don't know. Like an iguana, kind of? Like a crocodilian iguana. Huge thighs. Really strong looking thighs.
Thickums.
Like mama
birthing
thighs.
thighs.
Birthing thighs.
Thickum thighs.
Egg-laying
destroy you.
thighs.
Egg-laying thighs.
Wait, sorry.
You bite your
Stop
lip.
biting your lip, dog.
And she has her. You're like, what? She has like her best apron on.
Ooh.
And like, you know, like those bolero puff sleeves? Those are her shoulders.
Oh
Bolero shoulders. And so
Oh
she
my
goes up
gosh.
there. Hi, you may know me. My name is Cherry Pie, short for Shireen. It is so lovely to have you all here today. I really thank you for coming here. Baba was one of my closest friends, and I'm so sorry to see him go, but I'm so happy to have him back in the sky, and God bless him. I miss him so much, and I know he was a patron of this community, and I hope that we all remember him in good tidings. Thank you.
And so as Cherry rushes out of the door because she has to set up for the reception, and it's kind of interesting because Cherry, she's not known to do events like these, especially without getting paid a hefty sum. But you realize the gravity of this man that passed away and how close they were as friends. As she leaves, you see scurrying up, and it's like, in order for everyone to see him, he has to climb up on a chair. But his face is very stern, and you can tell he's well respected, and like the look of like a community leader that is definitely not a community leader. Like, he's just been around that long that people have placed that mantle upon him. Is our friend Pepe. And can you describe Pepe and tell us what he says as the next speaker at Datu Baba's funeral?
Yeah, Pepe is a forest gnome, so a short little dude, but with a big attitude. He's 55 years old, and as he comes up to the stage to give his eulogy, he's definitely not dressed for a funeral. He definitely came off of work right before this. Like, he might have been doing something and then went, shit, I gotta go. And then that's what happened. He's covered in soot, he's covered in metal and wood. He doesn't look like he's really ready for this. He's wearing like a brown tunic, just ready to work. And he comes up to the podium, or the stand, and he gets on the chair and he goes, hi everybody, I'm Pepe Lechon. No laughing at my name. That's my.
I'm ready to go.
Hate that people think my name is funny.
No. I'm laughing.
You're not laughing?
I'm not laughing, but
Babalato saved my life. He found me at a very troubling time in my life and sort of guided me to the place that I am today. And I owe pretty much all of my talent and expertise and my livelihood to this man. That being said, he was my biggest client, so if anybody needs any weapons made, I am a free agent and my card will be with me at the bar down the street. That is all, I guess. Goodbye. Scurries off stage.
Incredible.
oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
And as you see
Capitalism is really
a few other speakers go by, people you kind of know to be more Datus, but also some people who think they know them. You know, those people at the funerals where like, do you really know this guy? Like, did you really have a relationship, or you just want to hear yourself talk, or like you just want some shine, right? And then coming up from the front row, it kind of dies down, and there's like a lull, and you can tell this next person has been waiting to speak. And she's been thinking about it, if she should or she shouldn't. You know, that moment of like, will it matter? Should I do it? What would Datu Baba want? What do I, like, there's so many things going on through her head. She finally works up the courage to come up to the table. And that brings us to Kat.
My name's Kat. I am a 18-year-old dwarf, volcanic dwarf specifically. So a lot of what Kat looks like is that she has dark skin, she's tan, she like has this stately look about her. It's very clear that she like comes from money. But also because she's still like a young person, she has like freckles on her cheeks, but the freckles are like pebbles on her face. So that whenever she gets really nervous, like she is about to be right now in a room full of people speaking at such an important man's funeral, you see this like slight blush of like lava that's underneath her cheeks that's like rising as she's furiously trying to like get it together. Her hair is like dark at the roots, but is becoming prematurely white and turning into ash at the ends. She is riddled with anxiety all the time. So she comes up to the stand and she just says, Datu Baba was a great leader, and he shall be remembered by some. And she runs off stage.
And as Kat runs,
That's it.
The single clap.
she gets the smattering of the popcorn cloud. And as Kat runs off to her seat, which is like in the front row, mind you, it's not like, as long as I'm not up here, anything else is better. She sits next to her family, and sitting next to her are her three brothers, who kind of just, you know, that like pop, 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 like the three heads just, and her mother, who is also a Datu. She's very regal looking. You can tell they come from money. She does not flinch at all, like as if it was expected, like she knew it was gonna happen, and she kind of just.
Kat is like fully like sweating, like just armpits, like
lava?
tiny little embers are like literally just like
crackling.
Yeah, just like it's very clear that like she is literally in the hot seat. Like she can't stand it. She can't stand to be in her skin right now.
Right.
Does the mom do those little like bitch?
No,
we don't get it.
like
She's sitting so far away.
I am hoping so bad that I can just disappear.
Yeah.
Like,
And as the funeral comes down to a close, Datu Dumagat comes up and he's kind of, well, if there's no other speakers, I'll just, and then abruptly coming through the door, but you can tell he was like waiting in the doorway, that kind of vibe, and just listening, is a half-elf, kind of very strong build, kind of athletic, taller built guy. And I'll let you introduce your character, Babalato.
So, Barb is 6 foot, like you said, long, dark hair, moreno skin, has a lot of like Filipino traditional tattoos, just all up and down his arms, neck, shoulders. Has like light armor that he's still wearing, even though it's a funeral. And slowly but purposefully, he walks from the back all the way to the front.
Oh.
And he turns around, and you see he has a cross-shaped scar on his left cheek. His eyes are very determined, yet he looks familiar. And he does a once-over on the crowd, and then he says, "You might remember me as a young one running around here in the village. It is me, Babalato, or Barb, as some of you may know me. I left, as many of you may know, when I was 18. The Datu always said that I was, one of his favorite grandchildren, but for various reasons, had to leave and decided to become a headhunter. So upon hearing that my Datu had passed, or my grandfather had passed away, my mentor told me I should go back. Against my own better judgment, I'm here to make amends. I won't say that I'm excited to be here, but I am grateful to be in the presence of family and familiar faces once again. I'm not a man of many words, and I just wanted everyone to know that I'm here, and I wish my grandfather and I had a better relationship. Thank you all for being here." And then he walks as purposefully out as he walked.
And as that happens, Datu Dumagat kind of tries to start a really genuine slow clap. Also, fully aware that the audience is not having any of it, and it's where he's kind of.
I was about to say, can I roll
Yeah.
an insight
On what?
on because if I'm right at the front, I just want to see how genuine his whole spiel was.
His
Yeah, because there's something, I don't know. There was something about the entrance and then the really long
Right,
part of it where I was like, okay.
Okay. All right. Sure, if you say so.
Okay. First roll of my life. Insight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 17.
17?
Yeah. Oh yeah, do it.
Against
yeah,
his-
and
Against his deception or is it against his persuasion?
Here we go.
yeah. What you gonna do?
Sure. It's PvP now.
well, I mean, it's like you're trying to.
The vibe that I basically want to see is just how
How genuine.
I guess
How
this
genuine were
this is your
you? Yeah.
intuition check.
intuition check. Yeah.
I would say there is something there's totally you don't know the whole story,
Okay.
and your feelings are, I wouldn't say they were spot on,
Okay.
but there's definitely some information not being shared.
There's
It's withheld information for sure, but it was understandably as genuine as it could be at a funeral.
got it. Okay. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, and so as Barb kind of very, I would say almost intentionally, slightly broodingly walks out of the door, Datu Dumagat's just family, he's a really bad,
Reunion.
really bad host at like
Trying to diffuse the
a
energy.
Filipino concert. Yeah, like a Filipino event host where he's just like, okay, great,
Next act.
next act. Like he's trying to host it like it's like a little bit miscommunicated that like this is a funeral. Like we get it, it's your best friend, but also like read the room. And so there's just like this really bad lull, and you can see that he has such a stern resolve on his attitude of like, I'm gonna end this. Like like you can tell he's not usually a happy guy, but my best friend wanted me to, you know what I mean? Like to like bring a little bit of relief, but
This is
he's
not the
not
gig
used
that
to
I
it.
wanted.
Right. It's
This is the gig that was forced upon
that
me.
was bestowed upon me. And then he breaks out of it real fast and back to his own self. We're gonna resume the funeral. Chismis, Miss Sherry has a wonderful feast prepared. As you know, our ritual, you must bug, because if you go straight home,
Can I interrupt?
the spirits, yeah.
I'm gonna interrupt.
Oh, the whole thing?
I'm gonna interrupt the entire service.
Tight.
So I am sitting way in the back, kind of where
The door.
where the door
Okay,
was.
cool.
The whole time, kind of like eyeing and surveying the entire thing. But I'll stand up abruptly, and I'll say, a warrior from the Bunan would like to say something.
Okay, and then Datu Babalato.
Yeah, and to get everyone's attention, I actually like I'm in full kind of warrior garb like the entire time. So I actually like I have a spear, coral spear, and I just pound it on the ground to get everyone's attention. And it's like I would like to say, the son of Bunan would like to say something. So I slowly walk, and I would like to roll for intimidation to see if I'm intimidating the room.
Against everyone.
Against everyone.
Against the world,
I
baby.
want you to make 2 rolls.
Okay.
The first one,
D20s?
yeah. So
Okay.
the first one is to see if you intimidate the room.
Okay.
Go ahead and do that.
All right. 16.
You have anything?
Not for
intimidation?
Not for intimidation. No,
Okay.
I don't
So you and roll your second one.
Okay.
There's a second one for.
I'll let you know.
Secret.
Okay.
Secret.
12.
Okay. So
Can't win.
this is the whole kind of climate of the room right now. You walk through, and there are people who are leaders of nations in this room. Many of them sitting in the front row, and they've seen some shit. So a little kind of interruption by.
Wait, hold on, sorry. I'm sorry. If you have the dot next to it, are you proficient in it, and then you
Yes.
add your proficiency bonus?
Yes.
You should add 2.
Oh, okay.
You should add 2.
So I'm proficient.
18.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So 18.
It's the same.
Oh, wait.
Same?
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
checking.
it was
I'm just
already
checking.
No.
No, it was
successful roll.
16, 17, 18. So 18, yeah. 18,
Yeah.
Okay.
They've seen some shit, and the people in the back are definitely like chattering because usually the common folk are not allowed in Castle Paru-Paru, right? But because Baba was that guy, a man of the people, one of his decrees while he was alive was everyone is allowed in the castle for my funeral. So definitely the commoners are in the back are like what's going on? Like we don't know what this is. Is this part of the program? Like we don't know. As you get more towards the front and the more dignitaried the people are, they like Kat's mom isn't batting an eye. Almost like, who is this and what is he doing? Right? Your second role was for Datu Dumagat, And he's like, whoa, yeah, of course, say whatever you want. The floor is yours. We don't want any trouble.
I'm not
sir."
trying to catch that
Yeah,
smoke.
yeah, yeah. Is that a spear? Who brings that?
He's got a weapon.
Who brings a spear
Very
to a
like-
funeral? He's dead.
Yeah. And so the son of Bunan goes up and describe what he does.
So I'm walking up slowly, knowing that the intimidation is hitting the room. I wanted to hit the room because I want to wrestle. Like I want people to wrestle, but
Yeah.
they're like, "Who is this guy?" Just to describe like who I am. So I'm Batara Antog Bunan, but people, my friends, if I have any, call me Bata. I'm a little over 6 foot. I'm definitely dressed in warrior garb. I have dark skin. I am a half orc. And you can see that I'm like a warrior. I'm barbarian, so I'm kind of like this warrior class. So like I'm coming in slowly, like really intimidating, almost as if like I'm creeping up to like prey, like going up, because I don't know what's gonna happen, but at the same time, like I'm almost in fighting mode, going up, but also being respectful to Datu. Once I get up, I just to get everyone's attention, I slam my spear down once again, kind of like a gavel, and I look around the room, take a deep breath, and I say, "My name is Batra Ontog Bunan. And Datu." What is... And I do stutter with my words. It was very special to me. Special to all of us. And he did not deserve to die. So, like from there, I'm gonna do a couple things. While I'm there and I have everyone's attention, I'm gonna sneakily look down and investigate the body while I'm there.
Roll for investigation.
Oh.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for any signs of not natural death.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking for. Okay.
Are you doing investigation or perception?
I'm doing I guess I'm investigating the body.
Well, because investigation would mean that you're actually like using your
Fingers
hands.
on the
Oh, yeah, yeah, you can't touch, you can't touch
Rifle
I can't
round.
touch the body. So
Don't
how can
touch that
So
body.
what role is it?
Perception.
Perception.
I will do a
Perception.
perception check then. I will do a
Yeah.
perception check.
Because I don't want your character me to be like killed on sight.
I will do a perception check for any kind of what I can see without, of course, like
Yeah, yeah.
making
not
people
your
know that I'm
hands.
actually trying to investigate.
Yeah.
So I'll do a
your
perception
Good
check.
catch.
19
Plus.
Plus anything?
plus 0.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, perception.
19?
19 plus 0.
So, as looking at the body, you get a peek under his left hand,
Oh.
and you find out there's a pinky missing
Oh.
on his right hand. You look at his kind of midsection, and you notice, from what you remember, he has thinned out a bit. And really with your 19, the main thing is when you look at his eyes, the corner of his eyes, him being a human, there's supposed to be this like very flesh-colored pink. I mean, flesh-colored is a weird thing, especially in this like. But it's supposed to,
Yes, exactly.
it's supposed to be warm-blooded, but
Yeah.
you notice it's a very deep hue of purple. how.
Like the eyelids.
No, like the corner.
Under eye.
of the-
Oh.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And that's like the big takeaway from your 19.
Okay.
Well, what do you do after that? After you're kind of searching the body.
Quietly
it.
search.
Yeah.
You know how like whenever you're at a wake and you're just like
Yeah.
staring.
That's a dead body.
While this is all going on,
Yeah.
very much Datu Dumagat's like, hey,
I cough.
are you, what, are you good?
Kat's like fully like, especially after everything that he said, Kat is just like doing her best not to like shake with like tears that are just like streaming on the side of her face.
Stress tears.
Stress
Stress tears.
It's like stress tears mixed with like just grief, where you're just, it's the grief that you're holding on to so badly that you're like,
Yeah.
like it looks
Well,
like
it's almost a
it looks like
noise.
she's about to shit herself.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it looks like. she's sweating, she's crying, the worst day.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you all right? Are you good, sir? Sir?
So, in my perception, like I gather all this information, so I kind of snap out of it. It's like, oh, I'm fine. And then as I slowly walk, I peer at. Let me ask: are all the other datus like kind of in a certain area? They're all in the front.
They're in the front row.
Okay, so as I walk, I want to also do a perception of if any of them, in my opinion, felt like other than shock, because because in my mind I'm looking for a kind of foul play. It's like I'm looking for someone that's not naturally like like an emotion that's irregular from the shock of me being there. I'm looking for that from the datus.
You're looking for.
You're just suspicious.
I'm suspicious.
yeah,
You're okay.
Yeah.
You're trying to
So
do-
you're
Because
trying
I
to-
just implied that he didn't deserve to die. So I'm somewhat
you're-
implying that
you're
like
looking
maybe-
for a
Looking for a
reaction.
reaction.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
looking
Yeah.
for a reaction
Give
that's
me
not
a-
Guilty face.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Where I go?
are you looking at any datus
Just
in
the-
particular, or just all the
I'm
datus?
trying to look at all of them because
Okay.
I feel like this is the only chance that I'll get to see all of them at once.
Okay.
So this is my only chance, and which is why I interrupted. Like my whole thing was just like looking at you guys, but I can only look because you're all in the front, so I have to go in front.
Got it.
So that's my plan. That was
Do
my
I,
plan.
do I give disadvantage? Because I'm fully like looking like I'm about to just shit myself. In the seat.
That would really draw the eye.
or is it an advantage? Like which one would you like?
I think with his training,
You would look past
it's like
it.
it's clearly not you.
What's that?
Oh yeah, it's perception again, right?
Yeah.
plus-
That's 0, so it's 16. I like these dice.
They're not using them all right
dice
now.
are
All
ready.
your high
These
rolls.
dice are ready to
These
play.
dice are ready to solve a
What you
murder.
were looking for?
I'm looking for. I'm just looking at all the dots to see if
All
any
of-
emotions are different
His dice are Columbo.
than shock.
Nice.
Yeah.
You don't see any irregular reaction, or any of your like with your allegation. You don't see any irregular reaction. It's a lot of just like, who is this? Like, and then after you say bata, because it seemed like when you were walking up, a lot of the Datu especially were kind of looking for the word, but they couldn't quite place it in their head to describe what's going on. And once you said your name, bata, like
That guy.
you're a kid, right?
Naman.
Well, it's like bata nito, right? Where it's like, he is a kid. This is kid shit. It's very just to them, just because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you know they're supposed to be these great leaders and supposed to have lived lives already, right? So yeah, none of the Datus. The reaction you see is like them connecting and almost seeing you like, oh, we can tell he's serious and we know his intent, but this is a very kid move to be doing it this place and this time. You know what I'm saying? And as you kind of do that, our humble host comes in.
I feel so bad.
He's just
for
trying to
this
break
people.
tension. He's just trying to break tension.
Can
where
we
he's,
just get through this?
he's like, well, without further ado. And this is kind of happening while you're walking off, but he waits because he's still very intimidated by you. Like your initial. I'm intimidated. Yeah, you got him. That check was like a 4.
Scary.
He waits fully till you're like half into the crowd. He's like, if there's nothing else, we will all see you at Miss Cherry's down the street. Thank you very much.
What's the song that plays as everyone's leaving?
I think it's public domain.
Yeah.
Where it's like, one break.
It's not public domain.
Tell me. Come on.
Everyone come here. You're the only known family of Datu Babalato. And I would assume that this belongs to you now.
Natural 1.
So when you look into the corner,
It's
I'm actually
you.
not there anymore. I'm actually right behind you.